Hey guys, Biolizard1 here, and today I'm going to bring you another Wi-Fi battle against Fake. I start off with an Empoleon while he starts off with a Jolteon. I predicted some kind of electric move, so I switched out into my ground-type Pokemon, which resists that with relative ease. I figured out that he'd go into his Gyarados, so I went out for a Stone Edge. And as you guys can see already, this game is going to be a very hexy game on my part, so therefore I added this hex count. I decided to switch out into my physical wall, who is my Celebi, because Celebi goes very good with that dark ground type Pokemon I used earlier. I predicted the switch here, but I didn't want to go for the lead sheet again because I didn't want to over predict this early in the game. So I decided to go for a Grass Knot. It did a decent amount to that Odonokusu. I go for the lead sheet eventually because it will wither him down slowly if it decides to stay in. And I didn't see a Life Orb, so it's probably Choice Banded or Choice Scarfed. And since most of the Odonokusus are Choice Scarfed, I pretty much have that information in the pocket already. So now he goes into Azelf. I was predicting him to set up at the Stealth Rock straight away. However, he goes for a Taunt. Very nice prediction. I decide to switch out into my ground Dark type, which is my Pursuit Killer, with Overconfidence. This is basically to counter any Shanderas coming straight at me at my Celebi. He switches out, gets hung at the Focus Sash, and now I'm basically expecting the Ice type move, but because it's not Stab, it's not going to do a thing against my Skipper. And here he's going to go for a Thunder Wave, and I get the Parahex first turn. I managed to set up Stealth Rocks luckily, and by the amount of damage that Thunderbolt did, I know I can survive a second one. So I go for the Hydro Pump, however, I miss, so that was really stupid. I decided to go for an Aqua Jet to get some damage on this Pokemon. I didn't want to overpredict because an Ice Beam would have finished me off as well. I decided to switch out into my Love Monk, who is my Hihidaruma. I go for a Superpower, however, since it's not part fighting and it's only fire, the superpower isn't going to do a lot. So I'm going to switch into my Celebi because I know that this Porygon 2 isn't going to hit me that hard on Celebi because the moves that are super effective on me aren't Stab. So I go for a lead sheet, and I really don't matter that he Thunder Waves me because I have the natural cure, obviously. Now he's going to switch out into his Azelf, just scouting out what I'm about to do, see what kind of set I am. And now he goes into his Chariot, and obviously I can't stay in with Celebi here because the fire move is going to be super effective. So predicting a Fire Blast or a Flamethrower, I go into my Hihidaruma, and I nearly hang on to it. At this point I'm predicting him to go into his Gyarados, and the Stealth Rocks will really come in handy here. He gets the Intimidate, but that's not so good because I still have the Rock Slide. Rock Slide is going to be a 2-hit KO after the Intimidate, so that mainly shows what kind of a beast this Gyarados is. So he decides to go into his Jolteon again, and at this point I know his specs because I outsped him. That means he is not Scarfed. And he goes into his... and I decided to go into my special wall because Specs Jolteon with that Shadow Ball isn't going to do a lot to me. I see him switch into his Porygon, go for a Toxic, but since Toxic has dropped in accuracy, it's going to miss a lot more often in the future. So Toxic misses, Hex count goes to 4, we're nearly halfway here. And I try off with the second Toxic, and this time the Toxic hits, so that was pretty good. He goes for another Thunder Wave, not sure why, because this Pokemon is slow as hell. He goes for another Thunderbolt, and guess what, guys? He gets a critical hit, and he gets a Parahex. That's a Hex that counts for 2. So he's getting withered down by the poison, while I'm nearly hanging on, and I'm trying to recover, but unfortunately I can't recover again because I get the Parahex again. I decide to switch out, leave my Bones here as a Death Fodder, switch out into my Celebi because the obvious Thunderbolt is coming. Thunderbolt isn't going to do a lot to me, and I know I can outspeed him right now and go for a Grass Knot to finish him off. Apparently that's what I thought because it doesn't kill him and he's allowed, and he is able to get off another Thunder Wave, which is quite unfortunate for me. Now he's going to switch out into his Chariot again. I don't want... This is a very bad matchup for Celebi, and I still need him against that Odonokusu because Celebi is my only defensive wall I have left. So I switch out into my Dark Birdie there, and mainly as Death Fodder, get back into my Criminal. Criminal is choice scarfed, so I know I'm going to outspeed. Going to go for the Earthquake. I get the overconfidence boost. I know Jolteon is choice specs, so I know that I'm going to be able to finish him off as well. I get 2 times overconfidence, so I'm pretty confident that I'm going to get a sweep here. However, he goes in his Kyono no Kusu, and yeah, my worst nightmares have come true. It is choice scarfed, not choice banded. Otherwise, would have been able to pull off a sweep. Unfortunately, now basically the only thing I can do is try to recover stall him until he hits himself in confusion. That is, I get some lefties, and even though I am a defensive wall, Outrage is doing a ton of damage to me. After this recover on lefties, I'll be at full health, so that means I'll be able to set up my lead sheet slowly to wither him down, because I know a Grass Knot won't do a lot to him. Go for a lead sheet, but hex count number 8, and this is the final count. I missed the lead sheet, which is quite unfortunate for me. But now I know this game is pretty much in the bag. I have the lead sheet up, and I can basically recover stall him. So that was a very good game here. It's a 2-0 for me, victory for me. Really, man, I really enjoyed this battle. I hope you guys enjoyed this battle as well. I have plenty of black and white battles at my YouTube channel, so be sure to check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. He's going to hit himself in confusion, and that's good game. So see you guys.